Hello everybody and welcome to the start of a brand new series here on YouTube. We're going to be playing BATTLETECH. I streamed this game once before and didn't get too far into the campaign, so I want to start a whole brand new campaign for you guys and go through the story of this game, because I don't really know how it all plays out. I only got part way through. Some pretty important stuff was happening, and then I've moved on to other stuff, but I'm going to start working through the campaign here on YouTube and putting it up as hopefully several videos a week. So let's see how far we go. And I'm going to go with the standard campaign because that's like the default experience that the developers want you to play with. A Harebrained Schemes production.
I am Mayor of House Arano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromadir, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say.
Oh, I'm sure you did your best. Come on.
A hero would have sacrificed more.
Don't put yourself down, Kameo.
Compromised less. A hero would have done better. You know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times. About the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great mech warriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Alright, here we are. We're into the character creation. There's going to be a little bit of lore in here as well. We're going to kind of skip through some of this, especially when we get to the actual customization part, because I'll be a while. But anyway, so this all takes place, as you've guessed, in the Oregon Reach, which is part of something called the Rimwood Periphery. If you imagine like the center where Terra is, where Earth is, and all the systems around it are like the inner sphere, which is this, then you've got the Rimwood Periphery, are all the like regions surrounding it. And yeah, this is one of them. This is the Oregon Coalition. So it's a federation of a parliamentary monarchy, and it's ruled by the Arano family. And, you know, they've generally maintained peace and prosperity here, and this is where it all begins. So we get to pick our background. This is nothing more than flavor, I believe. I think it probably comes up every now and then in different story stuff, different texts, options that you get when talking to NPCs. I'm not going to read all of these. I'm going to skip through them, and then we'll figure out which one we want. So bear with me a minute. Okay, I've decided what we're going to be. We're going to go through the Rimwood Periphery route. I think it makes more sense, like, given how the story is set up. Like, we're from basically a place called the Rimwood Periphery, which is this area. And, you know, it makes sense that we're a kind of a hometown boy, in a sense. So also we have a bit of a spotty history. So the Star League was a thing that is now gone. I think this all takes place at least into the 3000 AD range. Star League lasted until 2780, and it was Terra and 5 great houses of the inner sphere and a whole bunch of territorial states in the periphery where we are, and all like worked together as part of the Star League. And then there was betrayal when the Rimwood Republic's leader, a guy called Stefan Amaris, murdered the First Lord in a bid to usurp the position. What I'm going to do, though, real quick as well, so you guys can pause it if you want to read all of these. Like, I'm not going to go through them all for you, because we'll be here forever if I read every little bit of text. But I'm going to pause it. You can go through so you can read what the Draconis Combine is all about. The Free Worlds League. Got the Federated Suns. Got the Lyran Commonwealth. We have the Capellan Confederation. The Magistry of Canopus. There's the Taurian Concordate. And there's also the Deep Periphery, which is like beyond the Rimwood Periphery where we are and where like the Aurigan Coalition is. This is like deep, deep space, way out on the frontier. If you want to pilot a battle mech in this universe, you have to be a noble. They're kind of a knightly order thing, passed down from generation to generation. The actual mechs themselves are kind of like holy relics, you know, and not holy relics, but they're kind of like big relics in a sense that, you know, they're prized possessions of the noble houses. They're the things that give them power, because they're formidable fighting machines, right? So they are the strategic weapon of this particular era. And we come here as an immigrant, and we have our ancestral family's battle mech as an old Blackjack BJ1, and we meet a guy called Raju Mastiff Montgomery, which is this dude right here. He was a veteran of the Succession Wars, which is where I think it's still ongoing according to the tooltip. Series of wide-ranging conflicts between the successor states of the Inner Sphere, so this has been going on since the betrayal and the murder of the High Lord, and still going on to the current year. Yeah, there it is, 3025, where that's the current year. So this guy went there to fight, and now he's come back, I suppose, and doing his own thing here. He's a capable teacher, and he, you know, we become a skilled pilot under his tutelage, and then a day after our 16th birthday, shit happens. We're either exiled for doing some unforgivable transgressions, so we steal the family's ancestral blackjack. This is where we actually get stats. So yeah, we either steal the blackjack, or we strike out on our own, and we steal the blackjack again. So we'll get gunnery and tactics for one. We'll get piloting and tactics for another. Piloting is like your evasive maneuvers and speed and so on. Tactics, I think, is for like special skills, things like called shots and so on. Gunnery is, I mean, that should be pretty obvious. It's ranged hits, chances, and so on with ranged weaponry. The family could go bankrupt. That's the other thing. And this is the weird thing: nothing left but your family's ancestral blackjack to call our own. Seems to me that a big mech could solve the financial problems, but or if it didn't, they wouldn't let you keep it. They'd be like, no, we confiscate that too. Family died in an accident, and then you find out there's a whole load of debt, and all you're left with again is the blackjack, confusingly. We'll get piloting and guts for that. I kind of like this one though. Family is betrayed. The family was betrayed, and its seat of power is destroyed. You defeat the betrayers, but you were the sole surviving member of the house, and then we only have our blackjack left. So I'll get gunnery and guts. Guts is like health, so and reduces the penalty from weapon recoils and that kind of thing, and heat and overheating and that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of like really technical things in the combat in this game. Like heat management is a thing. You have to make sure your mech doesn't overheat and burst into flames, especially if you're using energy weapons. So out on our own, we fell into the life of some of these different things. I'm going to read through these as well real quick. I've decided we're going to go with the Inner Sphere Mercenary. It kind of makes sense for the story, I suppose, but I'll go over the others real quick for you as well. So we can either be an Aurigan Coalition soldier, so we join the Aurigan Coalition and get a little extra gunnery skill. We could be a pirate and get a little more guts. So that's the thing we could do. We could come from a criminal background. We could have gone to the gladiator pits and we could have fought there, eking out a living, paycheck to paycheck, with our mech warrior skills, you know, fighting with our blackjack. The mercenary route is pretty good though. Like we join up with some mercenaries, some Inner Sphere mercenary units, and we get into a tight-knit crew, and yeah, we get a bit of tactics, which again helps us with things like called shot and so on. I think being the leader of the group, tactics would be better. Then you get a frontier freelancer, basically the same thing, but without a group to call your own. It's a solitary life, or you could be a guard of some wealthy merchants and so on. But I like the Inner Sphere Mercenary. I wanted to get maybe a point of tactics to kind of round out 3 of the 4 stats, rather than trying to overly specialize and put it into, say, gunnery. Okay, years later, then we cross paths again with Raju Mastiff. So, yeah, pure chance brings us back to the Aurigan Reach, and as a mercenary, we took on an ill-fated contract against an enclave of pirates. Oh dear. And this was on the outskirts of their space, and it all goes to shit. So, Raju's Lance, Lance being the name for a group of, like, mechs that have been deployed on a mission, they call it a Lance, was patrolling nearby, and he comes and helps us out, and afterwards, he offers us a job in the House Arano's Royal Guard, because he's the leader of the Royal Guard now. So that's pretty cool. So we're preparing our ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the day of coronation for Lady Kamea Arano. And I'm sure it's all going to go perfectly fine. And now we get to create our character. So I'm going to dive into this real quick and set it all up. I'm going to go through all the options and then we'll come back. Okay. I have decided on everything. So this is our guy. I've made a custom portrait and filled in my names and call signs. Of course, I'm Iron Wolf, obviously. That's going to be the call sign. Matt being my real name. So, yep, first name, Matt. And Wolf isn't my real last name. Be shocked and surprised, everybody. But you can never have too many wolves. I like wolves. So... And this was a random suggestion, by the way. This wasn't me putting this in. The game was like, you want Wolf? I was like, yes. Of course I do. Alright, this is us. Let's get into it. So the High Lord, Tamati Arano II is dead. The Aurigan Reach is left at an uncertain crossroads. Once prosperous, it is now a kingdom in decline, surrounded by powerful neighbors. Lord Santiago Espinosa, brother-in-law to the late High Lord, is convinced that the slow-moving council of the founding houses must be dissolved. His proposed directive would conscript their house guards and centralize power under a single throne. However, the High Lord's heir, the noble Lady Kamea Arano, is determined to rebuild the Reach without transforming it into an authoritarian state. She refuses to enact the uncle's directive and has rebuked his vermont pleas to reconsider. And he looks pissed. On the morning of Lady Arano's ascension to the throne, her loyal captain of the guard, Raju Mastiff Montgomery, makes preparations to escort her safely to the coronation procession that awaits in Cordia City. And I'm sure it's all going to go perfectly fine. She's going to go there, she'll get the crown, and it'll all be cool. It's going to be the shortest game ever, right? Right. That's a little bit of a spoiler right there, game. Preparing for combat. Come on, surely not. We're just walking to the castle, right? We're going to put a crown on her head. Maybe not.
Command interface initiated.
Right then, so tutorial. We can move the camera. Sorry about this, guys, but you are going to hear clacky keyboard. I bought some silencers for my keys, and they don't work. So, I'll try some different ones at some point, but for now, I will try and squelch them out wherever I can. Use Q and E to rotate. Okay, Iron Wolf. I had the Espinosa refit yards rush the repairs of your blackjack. Looks like it's all in one piece, but we should run some diagnostics on it to be sure. Standard field tests, you know the drill. More importantly, though, I want to tell you about the job I brought you out here to do. Now, do me a favor and get that battle mech moving. Let's see if there are any kinks in the actuators. Okay, click on a mech warrior's portrait or press tab to cycle between them.
I'll come right out and say it, kid. I wasn't completely honest with you the other day.
What?
There's gonna be more to this job than escort duty.
Ugh, really? Are we going to have to fetch her coffee too? Move the mouse to the indicated point and click once to select where you wish to move, then click again to choose which direction to face. Yes, that's pretty cool. Like, you can move in, like, and only so far, it seems, as well. You can't, like, run all the way there and then spin around. I can't remember if that's... Oh, it won't let me do it. I can't remember if that's based on how far away you move in your allotment. Like, if you move closer, you can spin around more. Like, it gives you more... movement capability. I think it does. Because, yeah, look, there's like a chevron next to the underneath the word move. It's not here. It is here, and then there's a double one here. Right, I can't move my mouse to it moves, but you guys see what I mean. So it kind of takes more movement to go further and gives you less options in terms of mobility. So we're going to do that. I brought you here because there's something wrong with the capital. It's been too quiet since High Lord Tamati's funeral, and I'm worried about Lady Kamea's safety during her coronation process. Anyway, looks like your actuators check out. Let's conduct a weapons test, target one of those burnt-out old urban mechs, and open fire.
Like I was saying, I can't prove anything, but my gut tells me something's off, and a warrior trusts their instincts.
Okay, so we can pan the camera around with the mouse. Okay, that's what I remember. Alright, you want me to blow this shit up? Sure. So, select a target with your mouse or press tab and cycle between them and then click fire when ready. Yeah. Go for the guy on the left. And I think we can call shot by picking an area. Or we can just hit the button. Let's just do that.
All weapons committed.
Yeah! Get smoked.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Die, scum. Good shot. Your guns are in working order, at least. Oh, the target dummy's moving. Hey, whoever's in there, get out. I've been training Lady Arano since she was 14 years old. She can be naive at times, and proud, but I have no doubt she'll be a just an effective ruler. It's on us to see her safely to Cordia City. I'll rest easier once she's in the capital, with her cousin Victoria by her side. Lady Victoria? Well, she's only been training under me for a single season, but she's already shaped herself into one of the strongest mech warriors I've ever seen. Reminds me a lot of you, truth be told. Anyway, we should run a check on your targeting computer. You see that drone over there, the one moving through the tree line? Put some hurt on it for me. And then, when it turns, take it out with a rear angle shot. After it's down, we'll keep moving.
Kamea's like a daughter to me, and her late father, High Lord Tamati, was a good friend.
Aww. So this guy here, yep. So I click me, do that, and fire!
All weapons committed.
I remember in this game as well, like ground vehicles like tanks were annoying. They're harder to hit, but they're easy. If you get up close, you can stomp on them. When I figured that out, I was like, oh yes. Alright, so fire at the target in the forest. Let's do this again.
All weapons.
Boom, right up the butt. And yeah, rear shots on anything. As always, rear armor, weakest. Cool.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Nice shot. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with the Regan politics, but the Reach was badly shaken by High Lord Tamati's death. I keep wanting to say Tiamat. Whenever I see that name, I'm like, High Lord Tiamat? No, Tamati's death. High Lord Tomato. It needs a smoother transfer of power, and Kamea belongs on the Cormorant? Yeah, Cormorant throne. Go ahead and fire up your jump jets, kid. I want to see you descend this cliff face. Aim for that patch of ground there, near the edge of the lake. Jump
Victoria
jets?
pulls no punches, but she's been a loyal companion to Kamea since they were kids. Aside from you, there's no one I'd rather have by my side in a fight.
Alright.
Engaging jump jets.
Pew! Neat.
Enemy detected.
Ow! That
I was
hurt.
afraid of that. Jump jets build a lot of heat, and that was more than your engine could handle. Head on into that water. We need to get you cooled off.
Oh, that's a really cool mechanic. I forgot about that. Yeah, if you stand in water, your heat retention, or your heat buildup rather, goes down. Nice. I'm on fire! Warning. Plasma leak detected. Jump jet malfunction. Jump jet systems damaged. System inoperable until repaired. Back. Oh, for the love of all the gods. This is what I get for insisting on a rush job. Not that I had much of a choice. The Espinosa refit yards were backlogged like you wouldn't believe. It looked like they were trying to process every single Royal Guard mech in time for the coronation. There isn't any time to get your jets replaced, so we're going to have to make do without them. Go ahead and take that mech down with a melee attack. I want to be sure nothing else is going to break down on your blackjack before we get to take it out to the Cormorant Road. Alright. So melee the target, huh? So if I move in... No? Oh, I have to actually click to attack it? How do I choose melee, or is it just going to do this for me? Let's read the thing. Why don't we read the tutorial, Matt? Yeah. Click the melee target reticle on the enemy or press V to cycle through melee targets, then click the attack button. Okay. Where's the melee attack button on it? I don't know. I guess it's just doing it automatically for me. Boom! Get head-butted. Good hit. At least that's solid. Yeah, I've got a solid head. That's cool. Alright, one last test. I want you to take your blackjack up to a sprint and evade my attack. What?
Push that engine, kid.
What?
If something goes wrong today, I want to know that your mech can maneuver.
He's gonna attack me? No! Run! Oh, there he is. Ow! Hey! Hey! Yeah, that's the thing as well. You build up evasion points for moving quick, and every time you take hits, you lose those points. So that's a thing worth knowing. Congratulations, Iron Wolf. Your blackjack is as combat ready as it can be. Given the circumstances, for what it's worth, I hope that my suspicions turn out to be unfounded, and that we'll end the day having a good laugh about it, about what a paranoid old man I've become. But if not, then I know you'll be ready. You know that, do you? I don't know that. Apparently he knows that. Alright, it's time to move out. Lady Arano is waiting for us at the mech bay.
An impressive display, Sir Raju. Of course, this mech warrior was a student of yours. I'd expect them to know their way around a cockpit.
So we gotta move over here. Okay. Return to Mastiff. He damaged me a little bit. And yes, a lot of the time in this game, it's just going to be a case of you are moving to move, to move, to move, to move. Turn after turn. Instead of them giving you, like, free reign to just move when there's no combat. Iron Wolf, allow me to introduce Kamea Arano, assumed to be High Lady of the Aurigan Coalition. Is Lady Victoria on this channel? For the time being, my father has summoned me to the Picton Docks. I have a fleet inspection and tour of the family refit yards to preside over before the coronation. Behold the responsibilities of a noble daughter. A fount of tedium that never runs dry. I know the feeling, cousin. By this time tomorrow, I'll be responsible for the entire Reach. Yeah, you've just got a shipyard to worry about. I've got the whole Reach to worry about. There's a bit of one-upsmanship going on here. Give my best to your father, and don't be late for the tourney. The gambling dens are already taking bets on how long it'll take me to cripple that customized monstrosity you pilot. Ooh, the claws are coming out. Laughing. Ha 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 ha. Bold words, cousin. But the only victory they'll be celebrating is mine. You may be ascending to the throne today, but my Kaga, which I'm guessing is her mech, is more than a match for that family heirloom you call a battle mech. And in the arena, I reign supreme. We'll see, cousin. We'll see. At any rate, I will see you at the tourney grounds. Sir Raju, I'm ready when you are. Overland along the Cormorant Road, as is the Arano tradition. Aye, Kamea. We'll get you there in one piece. Iron Wolf, fall in behind me. And remember what I told you.
Mission successful.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. What did he tell us again, guys? Do you remember? I don't remember. Shit.